G'day guys, bubbly host H2O Queen. I hope my Dream Stream family and viewers are well. So I'm just going to be just doing a short stream to help out a friend whom is just new to the Pokemon Masters community. They've just started up their game. So I'm just going to be taking questions and answers today on how to do some things in order to not only help out my friend but others as well who may be in the same predicament. But this is a really good time to start playing as well. They're giving out so many gems, which is great. Alright, let's just collect whatever Winona has to offer here. Hello Mel, welcome. I hope you are well. So hopefully this will not only help you but other trainers as well who might be in a similar predicament, who are just starting off now and may not have access to all like the beginning figures. Like there was Crescent Totodile, Olivia and Lycanroc, and then there was Brennan and Trico. All those aren't really around, so it's really harder to try and sort those figures, try and source those figures, I should say. So we'll try and figure out something to make it work. Just making sure my chat box is working. Oh, good, it's working. Sorry, I didn't see it show up. I couldn't see it for a second. Alright, so Mal, what would you like to start off with in learning? Is there anything in particular you would like to learn? Positions. Okay, let's go do that. Let's go into Explore. Let's just go to main story. I still haven't done mine. I've got to do that in another stream. So let's go and take chapter 17, for example. So we'll do Ghostly Trio. So for those whom are not, I don't need to hear your conversation again. That's fine. So for those who don't know, there are certain... Huh? How did I skip through that? I was trying to play it out. I wanted to skip the conversation. Oh, that's a story. Right. So for those whom aren't familiar or how this works, so we currently have center, left, and right. So the center is your attacking figure, the one that starts off first. To the figure on the left, that is your second attacking figure. And to the figure on the right is your third attacking figure. So for some people, there are some strategies like you will see with like the game press guides. There are certain strategies. So you might need to open up with Winona and Pelipper and start with Rain Dance. So then that way the attack, the HP is increased for all your other water figures. So setting Pokemons up like that is really, really important. But usually you don't have to fuss so much about a third position or anything like that, because that's usually like the Pokemon that you just need as a backup as an emergency. But your two most important positions are your center and your left. So for example here, I don't need to do any strategies, but let's say I needed to in this regards. Let me just put down test here. Oh, that didn't. Oh, here we go. So, we're going to go into here. So we're going to click the first Pokemon. So if we go here, we'll go find Winona and Pelipper. So I can just set that as an example. I won't be doing the strategy. Where are you hiding? It is a 4-star figure. Here it is, flying. And as you can see here, if we have a look at her, Winona, where are you? Here. See, she has Rain Dance, and the Rain Dance is what you want to use. See, it makes the weather rainy. So she's really important to set up first for the strategy, because if you don't have her starting, and then that way when you need to switch out with Chris and Totodile, for example. So it's really, really important that you set up your teams and where you go. If you've got bandanas and stuff like that, then put those through. So, for example, because grass is the easiest type to actually go, like via Brock or via Barry. So I highly recommend, even if it's not related to the type you need to carry, it'll still give half the damage attack. So that's still really handy to have. So if you've got anything at all, just try and use those. What does it mean by tech and support? Okay, so this is what this figure does. So for example, Winona is a classic tech. So she means that she's a technical figure or technician, however you choose to look at it. So that means what her passive skill does, or what some of her attacks might do, is more advantageous than someone that can attack or someone who's a support. So as you know, we've got here we have is that a striker or an attacker? I think it's a striker. And then we've got striker, tech, and support. So support, that's someone that is going to see here, for example, for support, this does dire, hit, all plus. So this means that this is going to affect all of your teammates. And that's why she's so effective, because it helps to raise the critical hit of all the allied sync pairs. So for example, if you're using Olivia and Lycanroc, this could complement the team very, very well. Whereas figures like Chris and Feraligatr, their main motive is just to outlay as much attack damage as possible. So that's why figures like that really can work on their own without any support, not unless they might need it. It can be depending. There's a whole heap of situations and circumstances. If you take the time to have a look at my guides, for example, Mel, you can actually see, for example, that let's take Price, for example. Hang on. So Price has some set strategies. So, for example, you need to open up with Arcanine and with Marnie. I think it is Marnie. And then you've got to have, everyone must have Blaine and Ponyta. That is just like a strategy that you must have. So you also really only have to worry about this when coming up to EX challenges. And then that's when you really begin to understand and appreciate about how important it is with positioning. But for now, as you go through the storyline, it isn't such a huge focus. Just so long as you've got, your two most important figures that are going to do the job, whether it be strengths or just a figure that is just going to do the most damage. And in this case, I know Olivia Lycanroc is one of the best figures to have in the story mode. But in time, you will begin to learn and see and know that some figures do better than others. But most of it's just trial and error and see what works for you, because there is no right and wrong. But I must admit, Olivia is one of the best overall damage attackers, but still my favorite is still Chris and Feraligatr, and that's just only personal choice because I love water figures. To some people, it might be Olivia and Lycanroc. Oh, you're welcome. So I will give out something else as well. So for when you are doing the main storylines as well, for some of you that may not know, when you are doing this, make sure that you go into, so let's just have a look at her, that with your passive skills, you make sure that you get the megaphone and that you unlock those figures. And the way that you do that is that if you go to team and you go to moves and skills, these are really, really important. So if you've got any figures here at all that have got this, that means that they need unlocking. Now, these drop extremely easily for most chapters. So you never have to really worry about being short. They actually get to a point where you own too many, like in my case I do. And all these help you to unlock. Now make sure that you also click. So after you've done this, let's go to passive skill. Make sure you click on the passive skill, because the passive skill is just as equally as important as the move. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's harder when you're starting off, but in time when you collect more, it's okay. But I'm just saying this as general because I'm going to put this up onto YouTube more than likely. So just to help others as a starting point. So the other thing as well is that when you are pretty much doing this as well, make sure that we have a clan here known as D-Clan, guys. So if you guys are here and not involved in one, you are assured that you will be getting assistance with other people who are in a similar time zone to you, and you might be able to get lucky enough to get an immediate match to be able to complete an EX challenge. We're trying to steer away from, trying to carry you through like chapter stories if we can, but we definitely are here for the challenges, because the challenges is what really helps with boosting up your gear, which will help with like the other storylines. It does get more difficult once you reach chapter 16 and onwards. So for example, so if we go here to co-op, we go to main story co-op, or not main story, I'm sorry. If we go to training area and then we go to co-op, these are the challenges that you can start looking at doing. Price, Karina, and Skylar can be a bit challenging, but the most easiest ones are Brock and Barry to do solo, but you really, really will need to have your figures max capped at level 100. I probably, and also try and get all your figures evolved. I just would shy away from anything below that. It does get very challenging. And then in time when you gain your confidence, I'll show you, for example. So I'm going to just go ahead and do Brock, and I'm going to do quick connect. And I'm at this point now that I can confidently know that I'm going to win. Now, there are game press guides, and I highly recommend that you use those. Some of them are suggested from our community, and the thing is that some of them are actually sort of like community suggested. It is easy if you get NPCs to do the matches, because sometimes if you get players, sometimes the players don't bring in the right figures. I'll just quickly show you. This is me doing it solo. I remember the moves for this one, so it's no turning back, followed by dire hit, and then we just use Leaf Storm. So if you were going against Barry, for example, instead of Leaf Storm, you would use Bullet Seed. So that's really important as well. Oh, and I just accidentally clicked on Bullet Seed. It's not going to hurt too much. This is what happens to me quite often. Misclicks do happen, guys, and don't worry about it if you get it wrong. It happens. But you can see the attack difference. I'm just going to do another dire hit while I'm waiting for Leaf Storm to charge up. So it does require a 3 attack. I don't think we're going to get any unities, unfortunately, just for the sheer fact being I've got NPCs and they've got a mind of their own, and they're not going to really follow a formula or a strategy in order to, knock it out. See, all these figures are attackers, so in all regards, in no shape or form, yeah, he's going to do his attack. I think that might knock most of us, if not all of us, out. Yeah. That's the unfortunate part with NPCs, but it is doable. But yeah, so it's just a matter of just patience and just waiting. You were able to get Snivy, but when I tried evolving people up, even though I'm max level, I'm still not strong enough to win the battle to evolve. Is there a way to make the Pokemon stronger, even at max level? Yes, there is. That is through the badges I was explaining earlier. Hey, Jazen, welcome to the stream. So there is a way to make it stronger, and that is through... Oh, we're actually going to get a Unity attack. That's quite cool. And that's with the badges. Hey, thank you so much for the bit. I really appreciate it. And that is with gear. And the only way to get gear is through EX challenges. Yeah, this ain't gonna go really well. I'm just trying whatever at the moment, guys. EX challenges are unlocked. Yeah, this is not going to end very well, I don't think. The NPCs brought in very, very weak figures, unfortunately. Have a check and see, Mel. Because they do open some chapters and help to unlock it. No, I'm going to forfeit that one. But yeah, sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. It just really gives or takes. If the NPCs bring in like really poor figures like that, then it's not going to work, unfortunately. But it is doable. It's just a matter of patience and just hopefully that the NPCs bring in the right figures sometimes. So the thing is that, yeah, I couldn't remember if it was chapter 16 or 18, so thanks, Jason. So the thing is that, yeah, once you do get that, you'll start to get gear. But for now, a lot of it is evolving on getting gym notes to help with maxing level caps. And the only way to get gym notes is through events, or you get them through, where do you get them from? The co-op. It's not the co-op area. Jeez, it's been so long now. Or even the super courses, but the super courses can be really hard. I'm trying to think where we actually go for it. It's been so long. It's not the level up. Yeah, so it is... I'm trying to think. What's the stage with Brock? I'm trying to think of here. Where we go for the gym notes. Yeah. I can't believe I've drawn a blank on that one. So, hang on for a second, guys. Yeah, it's under the main story co-op, as I suspected. So if we go to co-op, main story co-op, and then we go to Brock's Grit, and we do Brock Hard, I believe it is, and that's where you go to get the gym notes. But I'm so sorry, it's like a 10% drop rate. It's very low. So it's very, very grindy, this game, unfortunately. So enjoy every gym note that you get, because they don't come very often and you need a lot of them, which is what makes it really sad. But it definitely is very, very rewarding though once you get to a certain point. So like I've got pretty much all the basic figures. I'm only missing a couple of 5 stars now. I'm missing Lyra and Chikorita and Helbert and Oshawott. But other than that, I've pretty much got everything else. The main sync pairs you really want are Olivia and Lycanroc, Chris and Totodile, and also Brendan and Trico. They're invaluable, those figures, especially Brendan and Trico, because that's where it all starts off with the EX challenges. But Brendan and Trico are so hard to get now because they're breeding out new figures all the time. It's just not dropping as easily as it used to when the game released about 2 months ago. So that's the only downside to this. But other than that, though, yeah, I know, I wish it was, but it's not. See, they're trying to prevent. So the problem is that with most people, some have a secondary account. So developers are aware of this. So to save people, getting like a really one OP account, they block these things because of some people's, choices and stuff to try and like make their account amazing, and it's a disadvantage for others. So they ought to limit trading in some regards. So hey, you've traded to this person for, this many times a day, come back in 2 days' time and trade again. And it's not going to say the person's not going to be able to do it, but it'll halter down the trade process for items. And, there are ways around it, but unfortunately they're not thinking like that. And it's just so sad and so annoying in so many regards. But anyways, guys, I just thought if there's any more questions at all, please let me know. I need to call this a short stream as I have an appointment to go to later on. So I've got about 20 more minutes for you guys. I won't be doing raids, but I'll consider popping this on YouTube if this is doable. When I say doable, I just mean that, it's, it doesn't look too messy when I cut between scenes, but I'll see what I can do. But hopefully this has helped, guys. If you have any more questions, just please let me know, and I'll do my best to answer some more. But if not, I'll just end the stream here, guys, because this was just meant to be short and sweet, just to help you guys out for a little while. Are there any more questions you guys would like answered, or anything that you would like help with that you don't know before I finish up the stream, guys? So far I've covered up about passive skills and also movesets, how to unlock those. I've also talked about positions, so how to set up your figures for when you attack. These are really important that you know how to do. And I've also spoken a bit about gym notes and where to go. And I've also spoken about, so you need to be at chapter 18. Thanks to Jasmine who mentioned that. I thought it was chapter 16 for some reason. And it's also really, really important to grind for gym notes. As you know, you need to go to main story co-op, and then you will need to go, I beg your pardon, to Brock's Grit, and then you go onto the hard stage there. But there is only a 10% drop rate for getting the gym notes, but there is a higher chance for gym notes dropping in advance. And super courses are really, really difficult to do, especially if you're just starting out. It's almost impossible, not unless your figures are at like level 70, I would dare say, to get into them, because they're very, very difficult. They're equivalent to a chapter 20, not 18 to 20, chapters 18 to 20, something in that degree of difficulty. So it's not something you can really do as a beginner player, which is most unfortunate. But anyways, I hope this helps, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I probably will do another Pokemon Masters video at a later time, but right now this game is very, very quiet because of Swash. So that is Sword and Shield. So yeah, it's just that, as you can see, there's a lot of people here, and of a lot of our elite players that we've got from D-Clan, they're just not doing as many raids as it once was, probably about 6 to 8 weeks ago. So the game is very inactive. It's very quiet. So if anyone is starting out, do be prepared to try and ask your friends to help out to do some stages, but make sure to never ever carry yourself through, and just ask for advice if it's not working, because if you get carried through, it's going to, once you do get to the harder stage, it's going to be very, very difficult, and it'll be even more of a straining process for you to learn at a later time. So just make sure, guys, that you do ask for help, because there's more NPCs than there are like real-time players, unfortunately. Yeah, no, that's good, Jazzhen. But I'm just also stipulating at the moment because the game is quiet because of Sword and Shield, and not many people are going into the game right now to play. Alright, guys, I will leave this stream there. Thank you so much for being here, and I really hope I helped. Alright, guys, I'm just going to swatch to the just watching. Thank you for watching scene. So essentially what I'm going to do, guys, is that I'm just going to, I'm not going to raid anyone, just for the sheer fact being, that I am going to, I've just lost my train of thought, that I'm just going to leave it here. I'm trying to do an instructional video, guys, so hopefully this will help other people's, and I need to keep moving, guys. I've got some stuff I need to do, unfortunately. But anyways, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for your participation. This is your bubbly host, H2O Queen, over and out. Peace, love, light, and joy. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much, and toodles. Hey Mel, thank you so much for the biddies. I really, really appreciate it. All the best, and have a great day, guys. Thank you so much.